Hi, everybody.
Hi, Tzili.
Hi, Tzip.
We have a very special guest today.
Very special
who had
guest.
a great impact on me. He
He
doesn't even know. He never met me.
Everybody knows Hallelujah. All the Jews, I think, outside of Israel, it's almost like a tikva. And we have today the composer of Hallelujah, Kobi Oshrat. Hi, Kobi.
Hi, good evening. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good everything. We need a lot of good. I
Yeah.
want to take you back to the Eurovision because I don't know that the
Eurovision,
American
I think you said.
Eurovision, because I don't know that the American people are really they really know this competition. This is the European competition of songs. Each country comes
The largest in the world.
with
no?
another with a song, and then there are judges, and they choose the winner, and the winner gets to host the following show. And now what happened is basically like all the reality shows, it's 50%, I think, is voted by the audience, 50% by the judges in the countries. This year, because of the war and because of what's going on, there was a lot of noise around
Demonstration and protests.
the Israeli
And hate slogans.
Yes. And by the popular vote, basically Israel won, and by the judges, Israel lost.
No, well, fifth place. It's not lost.
Kobi, from your experience with the competition in Europe, tell us a little bit of your thoughts about what took place this year.
I had the privilege to represent Israel 5 times in the Eurovision Song Contest, more than any
Wow.
European conductor, I believe. And if you want me to take you back to 1979, which was the first year that Israel hosted the competition, after Yizhar Cohen won in Paris with, like you said before, is a bunny bee.
Right.
Nobody knows what a bunny bee means, but you explain it to your audience later. Anyway, 1979 was a great year as far as Israel. 10 days before the competition took place in Jerusalem, there was a signing of the peace treaty with Egypt. The air was full with good karma. And something, I believe that I was just a pioneer, peon in the hands of somebody upstairs. He chose me to do the song because, this everything, when I'm thinking back at what happened, I sent the song in 1978 with the only group that exists in Israel, Akol Over Habibi.
Right.
And you can hear the recording on YouTube also, and they sing it beautifully. And it wasn't accepted. And if you're talking about upstairs power, if it was accepted, he was fight with Yizhar Cohen, and one of them would not be the Eurovision. So the power said, let's wait till Yizhar Cohen wins in Paris and brings the Eurovision to Jerusalem, it gave it extra power. And next year comes, and I said the song again, and suddenly it accepted by like this. And then Shlomit Aaron, which was the solist of the group, he decided that she doesn't want to take part in any competition anymore, and nothing helps. All the world went to praying to her. Please, it is a good song. You can win. No, she refused. And then I remained with the song without a group.
Yeah, wow.
I called the producer, Alex Iladi. You remember him?
Sure.
Told him, Alex, please, I don't have a group. Take the song out of the competition. And if you're talking about up power, 5 minutes afterwards, Shlomo Tzach, which was the manager of Gali Atari, came with her and asked Alex, do you have any song that suits Gali? He said, Kobi Oshrat just phoned me 5 minutes ago, and if you like this song, is yours. And he heard the song, and he called me up in a minute. He signed me on a contract on a napkin of a coffee place. And he said, but I said, Shlomo, Gali is a great singer, but this song was made for a group. He said, put up a group. This was 2 weeks before the competition. Nobody thought about it, but Milk and Honey was the only group in the world that the first song they did won the Eurovision.
Yeah.
Guinness record. Anyway, it was
For a smash.
The competition took place in 31st of March 1979 at 9 o'clock in the evening. 4 o'clock was the final rehearsal. 5 minutes before the rehearsal, two girls coming running from Jerusalem because it was Shabbat, no buses. And she told me that they came to me and said, Sapta sent me to you, grandma sent it to you to tell you that if you step to the stage with your right foot and you say 6 times, God found grace in the eyes of, Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord, you're going to win the competition.
So you did?
Of course we did, and it worked. Today, the day tomorrow was 1st of April, days are full days, and somebody make a joke and send a message to the media that the government considers changing the Israeli hymn from the
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Well, it was big argument, but this song, I'm telling you, I feel that it's not. I was sent to.
Yes, mission.
I was asked to sing.
Messenger.
It's not mine anymore.
Right.
But things had changed, Kobi. Things had changed, and the competition is very political, and it's not as exciting as it used to be.
I don't know. I didn't look at this year.
No, I don't look ever.
So how do you know?
No, because I see a little bit and all the noise around it, and it looks like
It depends on the songs. I don't know the level of the song. This is what counts. I
But
mean, the
what do
noise,
you
it's a
think-
noise, but I didn't listen this year, so I cannot judge.
What do you think about what took place this year?
First of all, it's not only the political things that have changed. The whole music industry has changed.
Yeah.
In my days, you should have a song, a singer, and an orchestra and a conductor, and the song was the main thing.
Right.
There was always dancers and
Yeah.
singers and choir, but the song was the main thing. If you take it in percentage, the song was 80%,
Right.
and the rest of it was
Like
20%.
pyrotechnical stuff and the production and the set
Now
design.
the opposite is reality show.
Yeah.
The song is just a cause to jump on the stage.
Right.
That's the first thing. And as far as political, this year really, I believed always that if you got the right song that moves most of the audience, you're going to win. Doesn't matter which country you come, which language you sing. And this time I was wrong because the judges in all the countries, 25 countries gave us 0 points.
Unbelievable.
And the songs, in my opinion, is a very good song. And the singer is from God. So she is an angel.
Yeah.
And she performed it like he stood in such a high pressure on her shoulders. And she managed to do it beautifully. And you said before, the audience gave her the first place.
Unbelievable. Yeah. So tell me something. It will take hours and hours and hours to list all the songs, the performance, the things you're not only writing, but you're also, how you say it, you're the musical arranger. I mean, you arrange so many other people's songs, right?
Yeah.
I was wondering, what songs you heard at home?
It depends which period of my life is it.
A kid.
Nowadays, I'm trying to listen to the young performances, the young singers, the young creators, because I want to understand what's going on. Because the music industry have changed totally. When I was young, if a record company would sign you off for 5 years for 3 albums, they give you the first album. If it didn't succeed so much, never mind. The second album will make it, so the artist had the time to develop with his own.
Right.
Nowadays, there's so much talent in Israel. You don't believe you are such a small country. So many good singers, good creators, good composers, unbelievable. But they don't have chance because if they don't succeed immediately,
It's like in the movies. Israeli movies now, a lot of them are 1 week, 2 weeks, and that's it. No chance. The film industry in Israel, the same.
I'm not talking about the Israel against the world. It's just this thing happens all over the world.
Yes.
There's music for my opinion. Let's take the classical music. God sent to earth in period of 150 years all the big names, Beethoven, Bach, Mozart, and all the game. And suddenly it stopped. People are writing classical music today, but
No,
people
it's since the beginning of 20th century, up to Schoenberg, even Stravinsky, nothing new.
the same happened with the rock music, with the pop music.
Right.
Until for my opinion, the last one was Stevie Wonder. Since then was not came up a great composer like him.
Also say it about paintings, by the way, that in the last 20 or 30 years, there is not a new.
So the world has changed for the better. I am sorry to say.
But there must be a reason for it.
Look what happened around the world. Look all the leaders of the world.
Yeah.
You have Putin in Russia, you have this Erdogan in Turkey, you have this crazy one in North Korea.
In Hungary.
And suddenly soon you're gonna have Trump again. And we have ours.
We have enough, but you know what? They are also trying to limit our culture now. You know, our government is becoming, more religious, more right wing, and they will try to limit.
I'll start with this because I'm gonna get.
Don't get Parkinson with me. I know we are all in a Parkinson's.
But Kobi, if we already talk about this, I would like to take everybody on your journey with the families who lost their dear ones.
Yeah, but I still didn't answer my question, I did ask you what music when you were a child at home.
When you grew up.
Okay, I'm gonna.
What your parents sang to you? What you heard on the radio when you were what they heard?
My both parents came from Saloniki in Greece.
Okay, so.
Never heard Greek music at home. I remember this the first musical.
You didn't have no Greek music at home?
No Greek music at all. We spoke Ladino at home.
Wow.
And the parents want us not to understand what they're speaking about. They moved to Greek. And because that's why I don't speak Greek, but I never had chance to be aware about the Greek music until I was quite grown up. But what I was studied in a reforming school, and every Friday before we went home, we sang Mizmorim LeShabbat. How do you call it in English?
For the Sabbath.
And there was harmonies. It kept scotched my ears. I was waiting every week to some Friday will come. And then on Saturday, I don't know if you remember, there was Pirkei Chazanut in the radio.
Right, sure. We always, I had a child, Kosovitsky and those people.
1 o'clock, and the Melavsky family took me to the sky. That's my first music that I really was attached to. And then, when I grew up, Israeli music radio didn't brought up music from England, so we listened to Radio Ramallah. Radio from Ramallah, he was playing all the American and English songs.
All the modern music, the popular music.
We got known with Cliff Richard and the Shadows, and then the Beatles, and of course, Beatles. This group changed the world. I'm not talking only on the music sense. From my opinion, they made a social revolution. Since then, the rock and roll music, the pop music, it all changed. People started to write good melodies.
Right.
And
where did you learn harmony? Where did you learn harmony?
I never learned music in my life.
Oh, really?
That's the pure fact. I was given by the talent of my parents. They both played the mandolin. And he used to sit in summer evenings on the terrace and play for all the neighbors. I was playing guitar, and both of them were playing mandolin, and all the neighborhood was.
Wow, what a nice story.
Yeah, and in the army, I was in the entertainment group, the North Command group.
Okay.
And then after I released from the army, I knew that I want to be in music, but I was married by 22 with a girl who was with me in the group.
Okay. Yeah.
Lakat Pikud Tzafon.
Right.
And because before, and we lived in the kibbutz near Haifa. And in the kibbutz, you don't have any worries at that time. You could have kids as much as you can. Everybody is.
You work as much as you can, and you get as much as you need.
Yes. Well, you can debate about this.
Yeah.
But anyway, when I realized it was 1970, I told my ex-wife, because I am remarried again, I told her, look, January 17, I'm not in the kibbutz. If you want to join me,
Welcome.
I was shocked because I have no place to start doing it. And we went to Tel Aviv stupidly with two girls. I had two daughters already, and no
Income.
no income, and nobody knew me. And no, there was an Israeli group that made of people who went out from the entertainment groups by the name of Lakat Pikud Dizengoff.
Right. I remember.
The director
Big
of the
group.
group, Adili Tahir, he was my
Right.
director in the army, so he asked me to write a song which is relevant to these days. The song is called Haolam Kulo Nigdeinu.
Oh,
The
wow.
whole world is against us.
I know all your songs.
Yeah.
It's still on.
Sure.
Yom Ta'alev was a prophet when he wrote
Right.
this.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I started to get famous, and then it came in 1979, and it was Hallelujah, everything.
Right. Yeah.
And you
What
wrote
was
around.
I disturbed you? What was
I
your
wanted,
question?
well, Kobi composed many songs, like 1500 or beyond. But you're working with the choirs of the families who lost their dear ones, and we just had the Memorial Day for the soldiers and for the terrorist attack victims. And I just tell us a little bit about this experience of working with these people.
About 3 years ago, a woman by the name Irit Gunders, which she was a high officer ranking in the army, and when she released, she decided she was going to put this association, and they called Or LaMishpachot, Light to the Families. And she started to take care of all the people that lost their sons in the army in many battles of Israel. And she can move at
Mountain.
and she became to get donors. And then she came to me and said, please, why don't you put a choir of people who lost it? I said, okay, you want a professional one? He said, of course. So I have to make auditions to see who can sing or not. No, if you make auditions, don't come even. I just want them to sing. And I'm telling you, this is one of the most moving experience that I had ever in my life. They coming to rehearsals from all over the country just to sing with me. And you see with her eyes, these awful cases there. Like there's a woman, she lost her husband and two sons. It's unbelievable. And I'm feel so blessed that she asked me to. I'm doing it voluntarily as for last 3 years. And because they cannot sing, I found a solution. I'm recording him in the studio, and there is all the techniques I don't think you can be the most.
Yeah.
And
But you can do Photoshop for women.
yeah, and the sound fairly good. And we have performance, and they coming from. I'm in touch with one of them, and every Rosh Hashanah or somebody that's something like this, every high holiday, I call them everyone by one and tell them Chag Sameach because I feel blessed that she asked me to do it. It's unbelievable. This country is
full of tears.
Yeah.
And you can see people coming from the ground, coming up from the ground and coming to life again. And even young people that lost, there was a case, for example, of people as a couple, they were like 48 years old and they lost their only son. He was 18 when he went to the army and he felt good, felt bad during the training. And the commander didn't listen to him and he died. And she made them and now they have twins.
Wow.
I don't know how she did it. Maybe artificial
science helps.
As long as she has, but twins.
They live again. They live again. You see the light in their eyes.
Right. So what you're doing with a great writer who really unfortunately passed away, Nava Semel.
This is your.
I knew her very vaguely. I met her maybe 2 times or 3 times in my life.
Just to tell everybody, Nava Semel was a writer. She published books and
poems.
And poems. And
I didn't know that she was a poet. I didn't know she was a poet too. I thought she was only a writer. And about 2.5 months ago, Noam called
The
me and
husband.
Her husband, yeah.
invited me in Kiryat Ono, it's a place near Tel Aviv. The mayor of the place built a new neighborhood and decided to call each street on the name of Israeli women.
I think it's the same neighborhood that Anad Gov got another.
Yes, the same neighborhood.
Wow.
All
And
writers, yeah.
of course, I
Female,
came.
right?
Female
Female.
writers.
Yeah, women, only
Yeah.
women, writers and
Wow.
poets, and we came there. And do you notice the actor Sandra Sadeh?
Sure.
She's from Abima, and she is in the during the ceremony. She read a song that killed me. I didn't hear such good. And I asked Noam, who wrote it? He said, what's the song? Who? It's Nava. It's from a book called Mizmor LaTanach, an anthem for the Bible.
Yeah.
She very brightly took small pieces of the Bible and gave her interpretation to the
Yeah.
modern interpretation,
Yeah.
not the old one.
Yeah.
And the pasuk, איך אומרים pasuk? How do you say pasuk from the Bible?
Pasuk.
They said, ויחולו השמיים והארץ. There is a song, שבת של חיילים.
Right. Saturday of the Soldiers.
They coming for Saturday to home for vacation, small vacation. שבת של חיילים, it was based on the pasuk, ויחולו השמיים והארץ בכל צבאם. And I was amazed with the quality of the song, and I asked, no, can I have the song? He gave it to me. It was, it was a very long poem. You cannot compose all the thing. I got permission from Noam to edit what can be edited, and I wrote a very good song that was recorded by Ricky Gal, and then I was acquainted with the book, Mizmor LaTanach, and I found a treasure of songs there.
Yeah.
And I said, no, this has to be a show, theater show, or opera, or whatever. We don't know. When we get together with a very talented director, Shirit Levi, she directs operas in Tel Aviv. And she knows also Nava, and she knows the book. And we're working now together, and it fills me with...
It's going to be a musical or an opera?
Not musical, because I don't know, we still for the title, which was maybe it will be opera, or theater show.
Oh, I know what you mean. Not everything can. Yeah, I know what you mean. Why you are looking for the definition of the genre.
What Nava did, she interpreted the Bible in a very up-to-date, modern Israeli way. And
I don't know if Israeli, very clever way.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's very Israeli. Nava
She was very unique writer.
Yeah.
She was really a very unique, and she was very modest. So in many ways, now I don't know how even to clarify what I'm saying, but the modesty is in her writings. There is something about when she writes, she almost like have a respect, such a respect for the words, for the characters.
She can allow herself to be modest because her quality is so high.
I agree with you. Great people can be modest.
Yeah.
Yes.
If they're not modest, they're not great.
I was culture attaché for Israel in the West Coast. I met my second to God, Quincy Jones, and I was at his home. And the more bigger he is, he's more modest.
Yeah.
He invited to me. I told him that we met in a movie festival. I represented the consulate. And I came to him. I'm not doing it. We're going to the reception, down to the reception, and the guy is. I said to my wife, "This is Quincy Jones. I don't believe my eyes."
Right.
And then comes Michel Legrand.
Wow.
Another name. I said, "What happened?" Is it? So I have the courage, and I went to him and I said, "Mr. Jones, I'm the culture attaché of Israel, and I'm also a musician." He said, "Are you all musicians? Come and sit." And then I'm sitting with Michel Legrand and Quincy Jones talking about music like we are friends from the kindergarten. And then we had dinner together. I was in the sky. I'm really there.
So tell me, since you were, I know it's nothing to. So anyway, so you think you're going to take more than one song for one poem?
No,
Nava.
I already composed 5 songs of her.
Wow.
And I sat with the director Shiri, and I told her, look, I can compose the whole book, but we cannot put on stage in one evening the whole book. We have to choose, and we have to find the concept
Yes,
around
that's
the
what I was wondering. Are you going to find some kind of a narration to link the songs? Some kind of narrative? You know what I mean?
I believe that will be an actor that will lead the show
That's
between
what I meant.
the song.
Right.
And for example, you know Dror Keren?
Oh, he's amazing. He's like unbelievable.
We want him to be the narrator of this
Okay.
show.
Okay.
He's so musical himself.
His son also.
Yeah.
He has a very talented son.
So, this guy is so modest and he's so great.
Yes, he's amazing. So tell me something. Since you were attaché, cultural attaché of Israel in America, in the West Coast, and I don't know if you are connected now, but now the relationship of the Jews, American Jews to Israel changed.
Yeah, so I heard.
What was your experience?
I tell you, when we came to Los Angeles, it was 27th of January 2000.
Oh, wow, the Intifada.
It's the second Intifada just started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in the beginning, nobody was talking to us. We were like leopards. No, my consul general, he could not get a meeting with no leader of any of the communities there. There was
Why?
because they all in the new Los Angeles Times every morning you could see a picture of a Palestinian kid against the Israeli tank. So everybody was against us, including the Jews. And at that time, the order I got from the foreign ministry to take care of exchange culture with the Americans, then the Jews, not to be involved in any case with the Israelis. When I came there, I saw there was a big quarrel between the Jewish community and the Israeli community. And I wanted to, and I made peace with them in Yom HaTzmaut, Yom HaZikaron. I brought Gila Almagor from Israel. And in this ceremony, the ice was melted. And then I sensed that I have to help my consul general to get some. There was three major communities in Los Angeles, in the West Coast, in Los Angeles: the Hispanic, the Black community, and the Korean community. And none of them, none of their leaders answered our phones. So I decided to make a point, to make a move. I met this old woman from AIPAC. Her name was Helen Bloom. She was a sculptor, and she sculptured Ben Gurion. The only one, she had the chance that Paula allowed her to. She told me that every 5 minutes, she came into the room looking if something happens. And she's very.
There is a subtext in what you said. Okay, go on.
She was very influential in AIPAC. So I said, Helen, I took her to lunch and said, Helen, we are in a siege here. Nobody is talking to us. Please, could you make something? She said, which do you want to meet first? I said, a leader of the Hispanic community, because they were the biggest community in Los Angeles. He said, there is one guy, his name was Moctezuma Esparza. He's like Steven Spielberg of the Hispanic community. He made a very known films like Selena, Gettysburg. He was he was a leader in the Hispanic community. He never answered our phones. So I said, of course, I want to meet him. She takes the phone and called him, said, Mokti. She called him in a nickname, Mokti. You're going to see the Israeli culture attaché in an hour. Don't tell me, don't hush. And she sent me there. I came to his office. First of all, his partner was Jewish, Bob Katz. He was an airplane fighter, and he guided these first Israeli pilots like Ezer Weizmann in the Independence War. So I felt in a good ground. And then I came to Moctezuma in Parza room. Here comes, he gets me, stands man, very impressive, with a long, big, very tall. with a white hair and a strong look. I know that he will take no rubbish from me. I said, Mr. Sparza, let's cut this short. What is that I can do to you that you change your
Attitude.
attitude towards us? He said, okay, I like you. You don't mess around. He said, you, the Jewish people, he pointed at me, you don't give any chance to the young Hispanic movies, actors and directors.
Oh,
If
you mean the producer, the Hollywood producers?
Yeah. The Jewish people are, of course, running the
Right.
movies in the industry. So in his place, I called Arnold Milchen. I said, Arnold, you must help us. We have to break the ice. Please arrange some symposium with American directors and actors, and he did this. And since then, he was ours. That's by culture.
Very well thought tactics. You cannot just ask people to do something. You have to tell them something in return.
And there was,
you cannot just grab something from somebody. You have to be generous enough to
give back.
ask them what do you need.
Yeah, that's what I did.
That was smart.
There was Pastor Murph. He was the highest priest of the black community. It was like 1 million people.
Yeah.
He never answered the phone.
So do you think that it is a danger? Okay, sorry.
If you want a story, here's a story. This is a good one. I heard that Makelat, the choir of Moran, kids coming to LA, because I know Nomi Faran, conductor. I called her from LA, said, whatever you do, spare one evening for me. And then I looked for the biggest church in LA that have the children choir. And I did a concert, white kid hold black kid, and they sang together. And the television came and photo us, and that.
It's wonderful. Yeah. But so what do you think? What do you think happens now? It's again a deja vu, like from 2000, that there is so much resentful to Israel.
It's so not exactly a deja vu. There is
the big problem is that what the Jewish, the American, the whole world sees and tell in the TV, in the media. It's not what we see. We don't see the poor people of Gaza. We don't see the picture. But the worlds we had in the beginning, all the world was with us.
Yeah. Now it's not even mentioned. They don't mention what happened in October 7th.
We still have 130 people down there if they are alive, and we don't know exactly. I hope that someone of them will come alive, and even if they come back, who knows what a wreck they will be.
Yeah, right. So tell me, when you compose, when you get the words or a poem, how do you start even envision the music? What guides you?
Everybody works differently, but what I do, I put the text on my piano, and I started to get into it, to feel the emotion of it, to feel the.
So you read it to yourself a few times?
I started to wanted to get into what the poet meant, okay. And suddenly I feel this inner rhythm in me, and I start to look for the. And I am writing the first, how you say, skizza.
Yeah, sketch. Yeah, right.
The first sketch.
Yeah, and I put it aside because the most awful thing you could do to yourself is get in love. You fell in love with what you do.
Yeah.
After a week, I opened the tape, I listen to it again. If it's good enough, I'm going on with it. If not, I wipe it out on the spot. Mm. And I'm trying to do my best to catch what was the meaning. And there is a big debate, which I want to ask you. Which you think is more important, the lyrics or the music?
Wow.
Well, the words vary.
I think first the music. First thing the music.
Why? Did you think it deeply?
I believe the words.
I think the music first. And then once you're comfortable with the music, you listen to the words. If you're not comfortable with the music, you don't always get to the words.
Let me put another controversy to you.
Okay, right.
If you choose 10 of your beloved most, the songs that you love most, you see that each one of them had a sentence that touches your
Right.
heart. That's why you remember it.
I agree with you.
I'm not saying that I'm not downgrading the music. The music is it
I
has to
agree with
carry.
you.
I always
May
give
not
But
be the
there's
whole song,
something-
but there will be a sentence or two that you will always remember.
If you have a great song or a great poem, great writing, it always good. It touches and it holds you. But if you don't have a good music that goes with it, and it's hard to divide the two. I'm talking for myself. It's hard to divide the two, and I feel that once I like the music, I pay attention to the words more, and then I forget about the music. It has to carry it somehow for me.
It has to be good enough not to overcome the lyrics.
That's right. Not to overcome the words and not take it, not go under the words. It has to really carry on. It's like a wave, it's like a wave that carry the words for you. So
When I go to a movie, if I catch myself listen to the music, as good as it can be,
Yeah.
I'm saying
They
the
can
musician
miss.
do bad work.
Right, right.
He has to accompany the picture, not to overtake it.
Yes, you're right, but
but I think the feelings are different because when you go to
it's the same in movies, it's not true.
if you go to the movie or to the theater, I think if the text is not good, nothing will save it. You have to have a great story. You have to have a great story. Everything else can help or destroy, but you have to have a great text. In music, I feel, again, it's very personal, that it has to go together.
From my point of view as a composer, I'm very sorry that cannot write lyrics because I envy who wants
Who
to
can put together, yeah.
together write music and lyrics together.
Yeah.
But it's my part of the work. If I get a lyric that's good, that moves me, that's why I'm writing a good music.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
the other
It has
way.
to move, it has to be compelling.
When you get a good text, lyric, you have the tempo, you have the story, you have the atmosphere. You have to put.
But it's very different when you have to write music for words, because when you get the words, it's like the relationship between you and the text become something much bigger, because then you add the music. When I get it after your part, I get a package. So
Yeah.
it's different. And if you did a good job, I get a good package. So then it allows me to enjoy the words like you meant.
Well, you just put a nice point on it. I want to give you an example, for example. You know this song of the late Frank Sinatra, Strangers in the Night.
Right.
When you the title, Strangers in the Night, you could imagine New York at night.
Right.
Strangers goes in the street and he's alone. But strangers in the night.
Very romantic. Almost against the words.
If you say sandwich in Grina, what remains from the
Right, you are right. Sandwich in a cheese.
Sandwich
in a cheese.
Of course.
Right.
But that's your part. Because if they would have given you sandwich with cheese, you would have find the right music to serve the sandwich. It's a very different story.
But I tell my students, and you're right about many times, it's like one sentence or two sentences really stick with you. And I always tell my students, you have to make sure that when you write, let's say, a monologue or something, that there will not be a line that diminishes the line before. You have to really go over it very carefully to make sure it's not diminishing each other. If you want the words to stick, right?
If you tell you, let's take the example of what happened here from October 7.
Yeah, right.
So each song now that plays in the radio got double meaning.
Of course.
Right.
Habaita, kids get. I wrote a song for Ilanit called Chelek Ba'olam. She was written by Rachel Shapira.
She's amazing. She wrote a song for my movie once. She's amazing.
I want to make a statement now.
Wow.
All my best songs was written with women. Talma Eliagon.
Yeah, right. Alona Torel.
Lea Goldberg.
No, Alona Torel was musician.
Music.
No, not Alona Torel. I forgot. I forgot the name. She died not long ago. Oh, never mind.
Anyway, and I came to the conclusion that if women would govern the world,
I agree with you.
everything was different.
We know it from a long time. We know it.
The song חלק בעולם says, the refrain says, אנשים זקוקים לגשר, אנשים זקוקים לקשר, על הגשר הנטוי יש תקווה ויש סיכוי. Let's translate it. And people needs connection, people needs a bridge. On the bridge, there is a hope and chance. And now when you hear this song, it gets...
Yeah, right. Yeah.
It plays up. Every word means differently.
But you know, it's many times, you know, also a good movie, if it's specific and dramatic enough and compelling, and it can be very local, toward the end, it becomes universal and it becomes something that will stay for many years to come and will be relevant, you know, so it stays relevant.
As long as it touches people.
Right.
And it's human.
And it's genuine, and it's genuine.
And even if you don't get all the local points, it becomes something universal that you can really enjoy. Yeah. But Kobi, you're talking about writing these days and the mood is very low. It's not joyful. How does it affect you when you write the music under these circumstances?
I taught myself from October 8th, I'm not listening to the news.
Yeah. Oh, really? You talk to somebody who 24/7 listen to the news, me.
No, I'm not listening. My wife is the opposite. She all the way, and she always tearing her hair. She's angry. She's sad. There's nothing I can do. I cannot change nothing if I will be upset and down to the earth. I decided that I'm not listening because this is the damage physically.
Oh, yeah, it's poisonous. I know.
It's poisonous. So I feel myself with, when I found a book like from Nava Semel, it fills me up. I can go into and swim into it.
And you don't come with all the load of
no.
The present.
Out of it.
You can just stay with this text and not come with all the load, all the things that really on your head.
And you know Noam, of course.
I know. He's a pusher of the world, but he has good taste.
So I enthusiasm him. It's my enthusiasm. I told him, Noam,
he can push everything.
He's contagious with his passion.
He runs with it. He runs with me. He brought the director. We're working with the director. I'm so
he's energizing everybody around it.
Yeah, but he has a lot of compassion. Yeah, in a
good way.
He's very compassionate.
He really, he's charging all the batteries of everybody around.
Because of him, we're speaking now.
Yeah. Anyway, that was very, very enlightening. You did open the door for us about the process of being a composer and music and everything.
I believe that my really big love is writing for children.
Yes, you did a lot of children's, right.
I did few TV series like Rosh Kruv.
Yeah, I remember that. But your first project kind of innocence. I don't know you, but you project kind of, it's almost like you didn't lose. I can see the kid in you. Therefore, I ask you what music as a kid, because I can see the kid in you. It's amazing. Well, anyway, don't tell your age.
Why not? I gained it probably. I gained it.
Yeah, you earned it.
Don't listen to her. Don't listen to her. It's okay.
It's 3 years now since my wife and me were very ill. She was in lung cancer.
Yeah.
Stage 4, and she's totally good now.
Yeah.
And I was in cancer in one of my kidneys.
Yeah.
To remove this and to have a transplant.
I followed you. I know all about it.
And the donator, we became a family.
That's what I wanted to ask you now, because this is a great inspiration and hope.
Yeah. I was giving up already. I went through dialysis for 9 months.
Why?
I can tell you how awful this procedure is. And
I know.
And your life is completely finished. So you can do nothing. And this angel came from I don't know where, and he saved my life. And we have family then. And this Saturday, we're meeting for lunch. It's 3 years from the transplant.
Wow. That's an amazing story.
Beautiful.
So keep being healthy and keep writing songs, and good luck with the Nava project.
Wow.
Luck with everything.
My greatest hope.
Wonderful. We will follow you.
Kobi, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Happy
Thank
birthday.
everybody. Okay, happy birthday.
And-
65.
No, either 3 or 80.
65.
You choose it.
July. If you are by chance in Israel,
Yes, we are.
July 5th, 17th.
Yes.
There's
You
a
have-
big Noam is
Yeah, in the main auditorium.
Yeah, I will be there.
There is a big performance with
call
everybody.
us,
Oh.
call us and then
Okay.
you'll be my guest.
Thank you. Thank you.
Kobi, thank you so much.
Okay, bye.
Good luck. And
Bye.
Tzipi.
Bye bye.
And thank you,
Bye.
everybody.
Thank you, Tzili,
Bye.
so much.